Okay, so once you start getting into algebra, you're definitely going to see the coordinate plane, which looks like this. I'm using a graphing calculator. So you have your x-axis, which is left and right, and your y-axis, which is up and down. And you can see here there are numbers. You plot points on the coordinate plane, x before y, just like the alphabet. So for example, if I plot the point 1, 3, it would be there. 1 for x, which is left and right, 3 for y, which is up and down. And you plot the point where they meet. If I plotted the point 2, 5, it would be there. If I plotted the point, and there are 4 different quadrants here. We call them quadrants. By the way, they are numbered in this order. This would be quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. In the first quadrant, both numbers are negative. In the second quadrant, only y is positive, x is negative. In the third quadrant, both x and y are negative. In the fourth quadrant, x is positive, but y is negative, and you can see that on the coordinate plane. The coordinate plane never changes. This would be the point -3, 5, and you must know how to plot points. You can practice if you want. You can even use Desmos. And this would be the point -8, 9, and this would be the point 5, -4. And so you can see here I have all these different points plotted on the coordinate plane. I can plot all sorts of things. I can make a triangle if I wanted to, or a square. And once you get more into algebra, you're going to learn to start graphing equations. And you can see from the distance from point to point will always be the same, which is called the slope. And that's pretty much a little bit about the coordinate plane. Okay, so let's go to quiz 1 here. This is for 6th grade on Khan Academy. So this part of the unit is going to ask you, where is the point? Where could point E be located on the coordinate plane if E has a positive x coordinate? It could be in quadrant 1 or quadrant 4. And it can also be, actually just those. Or on the x-axis, but then over here it's negative on the x-axis. But I guess it could still be on the x-axis over here, which is positive. So that's an option. And so it says plot 2 points that are 7 units from point C. Okay, well, point C is here, so we want to go 7 units from point C, so we can go, up 7 units, which would be there, or to the left 7 units, which would be here. And there we go. Those coordinates are, oh, sorry, they have to share the same y coordinate, so it should actually be over here. Should have read that part. There we go. These have the same y coordinate. The y is -4, and you can see that the distance is 7 units from C. Each point is. Okay, now we'll be reading a graph. Adam graphs the low temperature in Celsius that he experienced on each days of his trip in Istanbul, sorry if I said that wrong, Turkey on the coordinate plane. What was the lowest temperature on the 6th day of the trip? Well, this is the sixth day here. So left and right is in days, up and down is degrees. So it looks like it was 0 degrees Celsius on that day. It's on the x-axis, which is at 0 for y. Where is the point 60 on the coordinate plane? It would be on the x-axis. It would be over here. Use Desmos to help. And so point Q is located at -4, 6. So I recommend, if you're very new to this, yeah, you can use graphing paper or use Desmos, but you don't need to use. But I'm going to use it in this case for us visual learners. So we have the point -4, 6, and 8, 6. So here you can see the distance, right? You can see, though, they have the same y coordinate. So the only distance is left and right. It goes from -4 to 8, which is basically just add these together. 4 plus 8 is 12. That's the distance between these 2 points. And that's pretty much the first part of the unit. Let me know if you have any questions.